Hey guys, it's Mike, and just want to say hi. I haven't made any videos in a while on any of my art, and I wanted to make a new video. Also, I made some comments. I got really wonderful comments on my other videos for making the night lights, and I want to say thank you. I appreciate it. And for those who were concerned about me not wearing a respirator, I do wear respirators, and I have a little vacuum system that's here also for picking up the fine dust. When I made that little video, I think carving out a flower, I didn't wear one, but I do wear one every time I do a lot of the artwork and the grinding and stuff, and sanding. Anyway, I've been making some whistles. I saw a video on an Antler whistle some guy made, and I messed around trying to make I was actually trying to go a little kind of beyond that, make a flute and a recorder and some other stuff, but I grabbed some wood on the property and made some whistles for my kids, and they turned out pretty good. They make great sound. This one's just kind of a goofy face where the mouth is where the reed is. It's loud. And then this is for my other kids. This first one I made really quick because he just wanted a goofy looking face on it, and that one's on this side, kind of a deeper one. And then what I ended up doing is I take these pipes, get them at the hobby shop like this, these little brass tubes, and this one's a little bit large, but I ended up taking this one, or taking a pipe that wasn't too big, and I ended up cutting 6 pieces of Antler, drilling it out and sliding it onto the pipe rough, and then epoxying it and then sanding it down. So this is an Antler, so I made it straight. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate pieces of Antler glued onto that brass tube, so you can see down inside, kind of, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of shiny down inside there. I think I have it. There you go. But anyway, that's the opening. This is where I notched it, and I put a reed in here and kind of get in a little bit on an angle. And then I made I got a brass rod and made a tiny little Antler plug on the sander. Just kind of started sanding and rolling a piece of Antler until it fit inside the pipe. And then I took a piece of deer hide and screwed it onto the end with a little brass screw, you see there, and put a little oil on it, and drilled it out with a Dremel tool, and then epoxied that on. And then I took the end here of the Antler and then carved a face into it. So that actually goes down inside. It needs to be plugged, so you'll see here, slides inside, and then it gives you a bunch of different pitches. Kids seem to like it. It's pretty fun to make, especially since it's out of Antler, and it's kind of neat sitting on the mantle. So I started making another one today, and I was going to show you guys how to do it slow, but at my cameras, this is off my laptop. I'm actually getting a new camera, and I'll be able to make some of the night lights and everything, and then I'll make a full video on how to do it, because I'd love to show people how to do it, so you guys can do it at home. So I started doing one today. This one, I just epoxied it, so it's a little bit wet. This one is on a 1/4-inch brass tube, and I cut a little bunch of pieces of the Antler from a couple different antlers. That's why there's a dark piece in the middle there, and put rosewood in between, rough, and epoxied everything together. And this will be the end after I clean it up and hollow it out. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll slide another rod down inside, and over on this end I'll end up making the notch. I'll put a piece of rosewood on the end here. Or actually, you know what, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but anyway, then once I take the Dremel tool, I'll kind of grind all this stuff off and clean it up a little bit. It'll look a little rougher than the other one, but that's kind of the look that I'm going for, is kind of a rough look with the nub still on here. And yeah, so that's basically how you do it. You drill them out, you fit them onto the rod, you epoxy them on, you put whatever you want down inside once you clean all your cuts and everything's sitting flush. And go from there. So I'll make another video and I'll show you guys how I'm going to finish it off, and then I'll make more videos after that and actually show you from the beginning to the end in a complete video on how you can make some of these things, these whistles, night lights, and these different carvings that I've been doing. So on that whistle, And I'll show you what I've got so far. I grinded down the rosewood and the bone, and now this is what I have. You can see where the end piece, actually I put this plug in it because I've been just kind of working on it, but you can see how I hollowed out the end, and it's got a small piece of brass tubing down through the center, so you can kind of see there where it goes through straight, and then where I notched it out here for the whistle, and I also notched it into the brass tubing, and then you can see the end of that where the brass is going to go, or excuse me, where the tube is, and it's pretty straight. And then what I did is I went out and I found a little branch, and it's just a stick, rough stick, but I filed it down and sanded it down, and I'm going to clean it off, and that's going to be the reed right here on the end. You can see how it slides in, and it comes right out to the center there. You can kind of see it there where I'm turning it. Anyway, and I'm going to cut it off there, and then I'll file it and then make that reed, and then I'm going to make another piece out of some brass that I bought and some rod, this little piece of rod, and then that'll go down through the center, and then again be the same kind of a deal as I did before, where you kind of can pull it out like that and then do the whistle. So I'll polish it. I'll give you I'll show it to you in a little while, and after I come back, and you can see what the finished project is. But I will actually go and make a video and show each step I'm doing to kind of make this the whistle, and then I'm going to be doing actually a recorder and a flute. I've been researching on how to do those, and I want to do that. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, or if you want me to show you any other kind of slower videos on how to do something, let me know and I will. Okay, but this one should turn out pretty cool, and this again will be probably for one of the kids. So, but it'll give me deer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of antler with rosewood between. Okay, so I took that little stick and I cut the end off of it, and I took this little piece of the stick and I sanded it down. You can see it's kind of on an angle. It's fat at the top and thin down here at the bottom. A thin part goes into, and I can show you, this was part of the stick there. I just cut it off. So the thick part goes towards the notch. Slide it down inside the hole. See, it's perfect fit. And that'll slide right down towards the hole. Then you got to cover this hole. So that has a high pitched. I can lower the pitch by moving it around a little bit, but it's going to pretty much be set. And then I'm going to take this rod that I cut, and I actually put a steel rod down inside, but I want the brass. That's going to go down inside. And I'm going to make a little carving with the burr. The end of the antler. I got a bunch of this antler around here, but there's a piece that I have somewhere. But basically the same thing as I did with this other one, kind of this face. I'll end up making kind of a face or something on this, maybe a clown face, I'm not really sure. I also have a little frog that I carved out of bone, and I could always do something like that, put him on there so that you can kind of pull the frog out, but not really sure what I'm going to do. But anyway, that's kind of so far. You can see how that goes in and out and slides. That'll be the whistle. So anyway, I'll get back with you after I polish it and show you a little bit more. Okay? Okay, so what I did now is I took a little piece of antler, the tip, and I drilled a hole and I stuck it down on the brass rod and with a little epoxy. And then I'm going to take it on the sander and just start sanding it as I turn it, and then finish off the end, and then that'll be the plug, which is going to be really close to almost a little bit bigger than the diameter of this rod. And then I'll drill a little hole and put a piece of deer hide on it, and then that'll be the slide, which will give a good seal for the whistle. So okay, anyway, that's again a little piece of antler on the rod, and it's just drilled in here and then pushed in with some epoxy. And again, I'm set it on the belt sander and just slowly turn it until I have it so it'll slide right in. Or sanded it down on the sander, the little piece of antler, and I'll tell you that wasn't very easy, obviously, but it worked. So I'll show you here. This is the piece of antler, and it's pretty much, it's kind of hard on my camera, I know, but you can tell it's just a little bit wider than the brass rod. And then I have to clean off the end, I have to file down the end, and then it will go in here, down inside the pipe. And you can see it actually sits pretty good. So, but I need to get the little piece of hide on there to really seal it off. So, gives you an idea though on how to do that. So anyway, like I said, I stuck that little piece of antler on it, stuck it on the sander, and then just spun it until it was perfect to go down inside the center of the, like even on this end, the center of it. Oops, that's actually got the reed in it, can't do that. But anyway, so you get the idea. Okay, so now I'll put the other piece on and I'll come back and I'll show you how that turns out. Okay, all right, bye. All right, guys, so now what I did is I worked on this a little bit more, and I put a little, you can see that's got a tiny brass nail. I don't know what the best way to show you this is, but anyway, a tiny brass nail on the end that I drilled down into the bone, put a small piece of deer hide, and then epoxied that on. And it doesn't look center, but I think you're getting a reflection. It's actually pretty center there on it. So then what I do now is I'll put it into here, slide it down in so it's kind of tight, and then it goes so that's I just got to work on the reed a little bit, polish this up and put an end piece on it and cut it a little shorter so it doesn't go all the way down into there. That's about where I want it to be. And then yeah, should be pretty good. So anyway, I'll show you, I'll come back and I'll show you how I carve an end piece, and then when I polish it, then I'll show you the final product. So far I have honestly about 2.5 hours into it from starting, so it won't take you very long to do one if you just kind of follow the process I was telling you with cutting them, sanding them down so they're flush, sliding them on, epoxying them, letting them set up, grinding it down, sanding it down, notching it, adding a reed, and then working on the rod if you want to do a rod. If not, you just have to plug the end of the hole and well, this isn't set too well here, but you plug the end of the hole and it would just be a little whistle, but if you put that in, it actually seals it much better. So you gotta have the hole completely sealed, you'll get a better sound. So, okay, so I'll be back, I'll show you the end after I get that done. Alright you guys, I finished the whistle. See, I polished it. I used a burr on the end and carved a face in it of a clown, and there was actually some deer hair still from the hide that was attached to the burr, and I just left that as hair, which actually turned out pretty good. It's kind of hard to see, I guess. So it gives you an idea of what you can do with some antler and make a cool whistle. Same as my other one that I made before, that I showed at the beginning of the video. And that one has an old guy's face and a clown. Okay, anyway, if you guys have any questions or want to know more, go ahead and send me a comment and I'll get back with you. Okay, thanks you guys for watching. Bye.